The M4 iPad Pro can be super versatile, and I'm getting ready to go on a very big business trip, which has essentially become my life anymore. So today I'm going to talk about all of the accessories that I think are going to be the best for the M4 iPad Pro. But before we get too far into it, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, iFixit. Sharp-eyed viewers may notice that this M4 iPad Pro is a lot smaller than the M4 iPad Pro from last week's video, and that's because I got rid of that one. My thought process behind the iPad Pro has changed. I'm no longer trying to turn it into a laptop replacement per se. I'm trying to turn it into like a super notebook. I'm trying to do this in a more modular fashion than I would with the larger version because it's just so big. You start putting things on it, you might as well have a laptop at that point. So the first accessory that I got for the M4 iPad Pro 11 is this right here, just a standard Folio cover. Now, one thing to note, and one thing I want you to be very clear and deliberate about is the new iPad Pro, even though it's an 11-inch versus the 10.9-inch from previous it is different than other iPads before it. It's just subtly, it's ever so slightly taller. What that means for you in buying accessories is old accessories don't work anymore for the most part. We'll see, again, we'll see as we go through here. So just be careful as you're buying cases and things. This is the Smart Folio from Apple. It connects via magnets and magic right to the back. It lets you treat it like a stand. I want to use this specifically, and you can see here, I'm going back to school. Right now I'm taking Harvard's CS50 Introduction to Computer Science class, and I like being able to use this with the pencil to write things down, to write my notes, to take pictures of what the teacher's instructing, and then being able to write my own notes, explaining it to myself after the fact. And you can't necessarily do that with the big keyboard case, all that stuff. That's what the Smart Folio gets me. The second accessory, obviously, is the Apple Pencil Pro. I am normally pretty ambivalent when it comes to the Apple Pencils, but I have really liked this one. It works really well with the M4 iPad Pro. I assume it also works well with the M2 Air. But I like the Squeeze because the Squeeze does a few things. One, depending on what application you are, it could have a bunch of shortcuts built into it. Or two, you can actually set it up to work with the Shortcuts app, which lets you like program different things for the iPad to do. So you could actually set this up to take pictures. You could set it up to do a whole bunch of things. And that's pretty cool and fairly unique, at least in Apple land. And then the third accessory is where we haven't even moved away from what's in my hand right now is I have a screen protector on here from a company called Paperlike. One thing to note about all of these accessories, because I know Paperlike is a big YouTuber sponsor, I purchased all of the things we're going to talk about myself. The sponsor of today's video is iFixit, not any of these folks. But I bought this because what it does is, you can probably see it, is it adds like a matte finish to the iPad, but what it really does is it adds a little bit of friction and a little bit of resistance to your Apple Pencil as you're writing on the screen. And it does give it, it's not a perfect analog. I talk about my notebooks all the time. I normally am a notebook writer. I write in paper all day long. So it's not perfect, but it does work well enough that I've enjoyed. As you saw, I've been taking my notes away from my notebook into the iPad. And that's why, like, this is the default configuration I think I'm going to use going forward to take not only school notes, but like work notes, meeting notes, being able to take those things from the analog world and turn them into digital actions a little easier than having to transcribe everything after the fact. As I said, I'm traveling for a trip pretty soon though, so I don't necessarily just want to throw this in my bag. I bought a TomToc little case, and it just goes right in there. Boom, it's now protected. I'm gonna toss it in my bag, and now it's not gonna get scratched up, dinged, broken, or anything like that. This case is built really nicely. The zippers, I mean, again, I'm a zipper snob. They're good for what they are. The stitching's fine. It's single stitching. I prefer double stitching. But it wasn't very expensive, but it provides a little bit of padding. I was going to say, can you feel that? No, you can't feel that. You're on the other side of the camera. It's got some padding in there. The inside of it is built out of this really soft material, and it's got corner armor. I didn't make that term up. It says it right there. Should let my iPad just freely go in my bag and not have to worry about anything breaking it or it bumping into something else in the bag. In the front here, we do have a little bit of a pouch. It doesn't have a lot of storage space, but it has perfect amount of storage space for all of my cables. You may notice I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 separate USB-C cables. Now, in fairness, this is an iPad accessory video, but some of these accessories are used more broadly as like my tech stuff, but I'm gonna put all the cables in here. just so I have them all in a very safe, secure, singular place. Boom, this is essentially it. Thanks again to iFixit for sponsoring this video. You can learn how to fix just about anything at ifixit.com. Search through thousands of free repair guides and find the high quality parts and precision tools to fix your phones, laptops, game consoles, and so much more. And if you are somebody that tries to keep your own tech ecosystem alive as long as possible, you can keep doing that with iFixit's legitimate toolkits. iFixit is currently running 20% off of these toolkits, such as their Pro Tech Toolkit, Essential Electronic Toolkit, and so much more. Click the link below to save more on the tools you need to fix your tech. Now, I did buy the Magic Keyboard to go with the 11-inch iPad Pro. We saw it with the bigger version. I do think this is a fantastic keyboard, and it does give you a lot of capability if you are trying to be laptop-like. However, the second you put this on, my expectations of what I'm getting out of the device kind of changes. I am bringing this with me, that's why it's in the accessory video, but I'm not sure if I'm actually going to use this. What I am more excited about and what I really think I'm going to use is I'm going to keep everything together there, but I'm going to just set the iPad in an actual stand. This is a stand from a company called Satechi. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but it's a stand. You can set it down, and then I'm bringing my normal, just my regular old Magic Keyboard that I'm then going to use. I'm going to set it down. I'm going to have my keyboard. The only time I really think I'm going to need to sit down and like actually respond to emails, type presentations, like work like a computer, will be in the hotel room. If I'm in the hotel room, well, then I have space to set up the stand, to have a regular keyboard. I really like this stand. It's kind of bigger and heavier, but like I said, I'm gonna be in the hotel when I'm using it. I don't plan on this being like at the conference hall or wherever I'm at whatever venue. This is not gonna get broken out from there, but it's got some rubber here on the bottom to make sure it doesn't move around too much on your desk. Has some rubber here on the top and some rubber here on the little teeth to make sure the iPad doesn't move around. It is stiff enough that your iPad, with as light as it is, especially the new ones, it's not gonna budge too much. So it should be a pretty great little stand and give me a little more capability, because I hate using laptops and I hate using tablets when they're down on the desk and you gotta work over it. You wanna have it up and back so you can see what's going on, have a better ergonomic position, because chairs in hotels generally suck. So the stand is gonna be really great towards that. The Apple Magic Keyboard, I have nothing else to say about this. It's so good. This is one of my favorite keyboards ever made, because look at how small this thing is. This is super lightweight. It's super portable. It's lighter than this thing. Like, I'm reorienting my brain around what I need the iPad to do versus like all the whiz-bang stuff that I might want it to do. Part of this kit, I will also continue to bring my Logitech MX Anywhere 3 mouse. When you're looking for a travel mouse, this is it. Like, this is the best travel mouse I've ever found. Super lightweight. It's so comfortable in the hand. It has the scroll wheel, it has customizable options, it's got custom buttons, it can work on either Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. You get 3 presets here at the bottom. The battery life lasts forever if you do have to charge it while you're out. The USB-C is on the front. It's just, man, this mouse it's expensive. It's definitely not on the budget side of a travel mouse. You can get travel mice for like $2, like $5, right? But it definitely carries its own weight, and that's really what you need from accessories. Part of this, though, is you also need, or I really need, a mouse pad. So I've brought this Corsair gaming mouse pad with me everywhere over the past few months. It combines with the lightweight mouse. It's so easy to just roll up and toss in a bag, and then you forget you have it until you need it. This might be my favorite thing inside of this whole kit. Yes, that's my favorite keyboard. Yes, I like the pencil, all that stuff. But this is it adds so much, because nothing sucks more than getting to a hotel and trying to use your mouse on their desks. This thing, I cannot, and it's cheap too. Like, I recommend bringing some kind of a mouse pad with you. Speaking of things at hotels that suck, the outlets. I don't know what it is, team. If it's you, let me know in the comments. Maybe it's just me, but every hotel I've stayed at in like the past 2 years, I have problems with the wall outlets. Either my plug just won't stay in, it keeps falling out, or just problems all over the time. So what I did is I went out and bought the Anker Prime 6-in-1 charging station. And you might notice this is kind of unique. It's actually got 2 110 outlets here on the front, which is pretty sweet. Not just regular outlets, but it's got like the 3rd prong in there. It also has 2 spots for USB-C and 2 spots for USB-A. This is a display right here. It tells you how much power is going out. I mean, that's all gee whiz cool information for me, but not something that I ever really necessarily need. But what I do like about this is I only need one outlet in the hotel to actually work, because what you can do, you just plug this in and then it kind of like comes out a little bit. And now you've got all your outlets. You can charge everything you've got through like one charging hub. I am so excited for this because charging in hotels is such a pain in the butt, and this should clear it all up for me. But I'm not always gonna want to plug into the wall. I'm not always gonna wanna have to deal with this kind of a space. So I am still bringing my Apple dual USB-C charger. This is only 35 watts of charging, but holy crap, do I love this charger. It fits anywhere. It fits right into the wall so easily, so compactly. It charges slower, but generally, if I'm just charging in an office or I'm charging at the convention center, I don't need something super fast to charge. I just need like to recover a little bit just to get me through the rest of the day, and that's exactly what this will do. This is a lot of stuff, right? You don't necessarily need all of this, but I'm really excited to put this all to the test as I spend my entire summer traveling for work. But what about you? What are some of your favorite accessories that you've tried out for the M4 iPad Pro, the M2 iPad Air, any iPads? Let me know some of your favorite accessories in the comments below. And click here to see how my week of experimenting with the iPad as a computer went. Click, 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 click. Thanks for watching.